Had 9 new players that you haven't coached.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you got a sneak preview this summer and
Yeah.
all that, but what's the challenge for you as you kind of integrate all these new skills, personalities into a team here?
Well, it's finding a balance between saying, okay, we got to play 5-on-5 and understand, the offense and the defense, and yet still build habits, with drill work and repetitions and that sort of thing. So finding that balance, it doesn't matter what kind of team you have, but especially with new players, finding that balance is key. And so you can't do too much of one and not of the other, and vice versa. So I just look, and I can't imagine where we'd be if we didn't have the Australia trip. Like that would be like, I'd be really nervous then. But we still got a long way to go. A lot of things we have to get better at, and habits we have to build. I think that's the biggest thing, is having them understand the habits and then the execution of the habits.
Two guys not getting ready until this preseason with Bangot being injured and Alone not joining the team until the beginning of the school year. What's that been like trying to get those guys up to that?
Well, Bangot, it's a little bit easier. It's his 3rd year in the program, and he's been on the sideline, so he's heard the coaching staff. He knows our voices. He knows what we want, what we expect. So it's a lot easier with Bangot, even though he did miss the entire offseason, which is unfortunate for him. But he's a good player. He's a smart player. With Alone, you just start from scratch. So a lot of extra work with him in the film room. A lot of extra work maybe before practice or after practice in terms of giving him feedback. Because he's dealing with everything that's new. The food's new, the living arrangements are new, the community's new, the basketball team's new, the teammates are new, the coaching staff's new. Everything's new for Alone. So it's going to take time with him. But he's a smart player. He's a physical player, and he's going to help us this year, I think.
With going back to Bangot, I know he's cleared, but do you maybe watch the minutes, so to speak, in the preseason?
I think
or?
Not necessarily, no, because that's November 3rd's a ways away. I think you watch the reps in practice, you pay attention to the swelling in the knee, and just how he's feeling. You can't go from 0 to 100 in one day. So, but he's been building up to coming back for the last 3-4 weeks. So it's not like he's starting at 0. It's just, there's no substitute for 5-on-5, and when that ball is live and the defense is live and you're getting up and down, you can train all you want in a training room or with a coach one on 0, but when you're playing 5-on-5, it's a different animal. But again, he's used to that. It's not like he's a freshman, not like he's new to it. It's just it's going to take some time though, for sure.
With Barrington, what does he bring to this team that you didn't see there last year?
The ability to make a play late in the shot clock, the ability to make plays for his teammates. Guy that you feel like when he's got the ball in his hands, he can make a play for himself or a teammate. And his ability to make plays, and he's been a good decision maker. I thought his assist to turnover ratio in Australia was good. His assist to turnover ratio at these practices when we go live has been good. To me, I judge guards on their decision making abilities and their ability to help their teams win. And now we started kind of keeping record of competitions here this week. So I'll give it 10 practices, and then I'll look and see who's on the winning team more often than not, who's on the losing team more often than not. Because whatever you do as a player, whether you're Barrington, whether you're, Elijah or Bangot or Sebi or whoever you might be, what are you doing to help your team win? Because that's how we have to think as a group, because that's the ultimate goal.
With the 9 new players, and again, I know you had a preview of it this summer, so maybe it changes this answer, but having so many new faces, has it altered at all how you plan to maybe implement things as you go along in the preseason? Is it a slower pace? Did the summer maybe catch you up?
Summer caught us up because we have a lot of things in already that we would normally not have in this time of year. With those 10 practices and the 4 games and the things we learned. Now, a lot of the things that we're putting in is review. Like we just went through free throw box outs, which we talked about before we went to Australia, but we really didn't rep it. And so Friday, we talked about it today. We reiterated what their jobs were at the free throw line. And then Friday, we'll practice it live. And so that's really what this is about is, we introduced 2 or 3 things at practice today. We're off tomorrow, and then we'll work on that Friday when we come back. So, and that's how you have to grow. But I always say the train's leaving the station, and it's not stopping for anybody. My job is by November 3rd, we got everything in. Now, we won't be great at everything, but we got to have our zone offense in, zone plays in, we got to have our presses in. We got to have our, what are we going to do if we need a 3-point shot, time and score situations. Like, there's a lot of things that have to be covered in these first 30 days. And that's why these are critical. And I don't think there's a coach in the country who doesn't feel that way.
Obviously, it's the first day, and you only know so much. You want everyone to be a good defender. But who stood out as one of the better on-ball defenders or even help defenders?
I'm not sure. Help defenders, we got a lot of work to do, but I think we got a lot of guys that can guard the ball. I think Barrington's a good defender. He gets his hands on a lot of balls, deflections. Sebastian Rancic on the ball. He's 6'10". He's got good feet. He really is a good on-the-ball defender, really working with him when he's away from the ball. Jalen Holland, I thought, showed the ability to guard. Felix Casares, I think, those big wings that have the physicality to really defend. I think those 2 guys stood out to me, certainly this off-season and in Australia. But, everybody, if you don't guard, you're not going to play. So I think they're starting to figure that out, I think. I don't know if the young ones are or not yet, but that's probably a question for them, not for me.
It's relatively new, mostly young roster. Have the leading voices in the locker room or on the practice court, have they emerged yet? And if they have, who would that be?
I'm really encouraging the returning players. Andrew Crawford, who, even though he redshirted, he was here last year. Bangat Dak, 3rd year in the program. Sebastian Rancic, 2nd year in the program. Elijah Malone, 2nd year in the program. But he's, 5th or 6th year college basketball. So those guys that have been here before are the ones I expect. I expect probably a little bit more out of Barrington because he is, he's a junior. It's his 3rd year college basketball, even though it's his 1st year in the program. He's still trying to figure out me and what I like and what I don't, but I think he's a voice that needs to be heard because, number one, of the position he plays. And then even some of our freshmen, Isaiah Johnson, Josiah Sanders, those guys, they need to find their voices because they're going to be, playing that point guard position for us at various times, and you can't play that position without talking. So that leadership and that voice is going to come, I think, originally from the veterans. But I want our freshmen. I don't want them to wait till they're sophomores to find their voice. I want, talk is something. Both defensive talk and offensive talk is something that we have to get better at. I try not to talk about last year too much, but that was a problem with last year's team is our talk on the floor. And so if we got new players and a bunch of freshmen, they got to learn to talk. So that's going to be a daily challenge for us.
Along those lines, I remember in the one broadcast we got out of Australia, they kept referring to Elijah as team captain. I don't know how much merit that actually has. I don't remember you ever designating captains, but he's a guy though that I think his personality on the floor is not what we see anyway off the floor. Is he being more vocal, around the team?
He is being more vocal.
That role?
Yes, and again, the big, just like I said, the point guards got to find their voice because they're running the team. The big guys have to find their voice because they're usually ones involved in ball screens, and they got to be talking to the guards who are getting screens. So, Elijah's voice, I think he's much more comfortable this year in terms of what we expect from him. But no, I've not named team captain. I've never been a team captain guy. I think leadership emerges. I think we have to help as coaches. These guys understand how to be leaders and really educate them in that area. And we've got a plan to do that. So, and some of the I expect it to be kind of a leadership committee. Now, if one guy emerges as that leader, fantastic. I'm not going to stop that for sure. But I've never really been a team captain guy. I don't know if it's right or wrong. It's just that's kind of how I what I don't want is to name a guy a team captain and then he doesn't act like a team captain, and I got to take it away from him. That's never a good thing. So I'd rather have it emerge organically.